That's great. Welcome to our second installment of Liberty Blue Jay basketball here on LHS Channel 18. Thanks for the opportunity to speak about our program and what we've got coming up. Just to bring you up to date a little bit, we played in the Jamboree on Saturday down at Raytown High School, where we faced off against Blue Springs, Grandview, and the host school Raytown. We can talk about that, and then next week we depart for Fayetteville, Arkansas, to play in a 3-game tournament next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday down there. So that's where we've been, and that's kind of where we're going, and we're trying to get a little bit better this week, and practices around the holiday of Thanksgiving. So I'll open up to the floor for questions at this time, and we'll get started. Yes, Isaiah.
So how did you guys feel like you guys played down in Jamboree? Like, how did you feel like the players came together? Do you think you guys ran plays well?
Good question. How do we play down at the Jamboree? Well, first of all, is our first experience with that our programs had to do that. We had an opportunity last year. I elected not to participate in it for a couple of reasons. But this year I thought we needed to, and it was a good decision on our part to participate in it because we found out a lot about our team. And it's something that we played against some competition this off-season in the summer, like I stated last week, but we really hadn't played, anyone besides ourselves since the season began on November 4th. So it was a good test for us to see where we were, what we needed to work on, and stuff like that. So record-wise, we played 3 teams. We played them 12 minutes in length, 2 6-minute quarters. And we went 1-2. We got off to a horrible offensive start. The first game against Blue Springs, fell way behind, and cutting back and cut it to 2 and lost by that deficit. Then we beat Grandview in our second game by 14 points. And then we played who I think is one of the best teams in the city in Raytown, a couple of 6'8" kids along with some good combo guards. We got down by 9 points against them and came back, and unfortunately we had a chance to win it, missed a 3 in the corner, lost by 2 there. So we found out a lot of stuff about our guys. We took 12 down there, they all played, and they all did good things. So individually I liked what the guys brought to the table, but we did some good things offensively. We did some good things defensively, but we had a long list of things that we can work on this week, and as that became evident on Saturday. So we're focusing on those things right now. Yes.
Give us a bit of a rundown on how the season's been going so far, how the team's been progressing.
First of all, I love this team. I've been doing this a few years, and this is one of the most enjoyable teams that we've ever had here. We've had a lot of great teams come through here, and some tremendous guys. But this squad is just a lot of fun to be around. Individually, they're very different people, and I love each personality of the team, and it just meshes so well. They have a lot of strong ties individually, and they seem to like each other and get along with each other, joke around with each other on and off the court and stuff. Do homework together during Liberty Hour and in Coach Bowden's room and stuff. So they're just great guys, and so I've just had a blast these first 3.5 weeks of coaching, and probably more than I have had in, liked all our teams, but this group seems to be a little bit more special for some reason. We're progressing nicely. I asked them individually yesterday how competitive do they think their team is, and I got some good responses, and so I like our competitiveness. I like our attitude. We decided upon some core values of just kind of defining who we are earlier or late last week. last week, we started that process, and they decided that our team is about hard work and commitment and teamwork, and so that's very evident. If you come watch us, our guys, they're going to play hard. They work hard outside of the game situations. We've got about 30 coming in first hour to lift and work out early before school. And so they're getting in a couple of workouts a day before and after school, which is awesome. And then, they're committed. They're here every day and they work hard when they're here. And then the third one's teamwork. And so, I think that kind of goes back to the first thing I told you about, just their individual personality that has led to a great team personality too, is that they play very well together so far as a team. I think they're very unselfish, and I love that about them. I think the guys that have gone before them have been great examples for this crew too. And now, it's this crew that it's time to teach their the younger underclassmen how to do things. Yes.
Since the Jamboree, what have you guys been focused on strategy-wise, like offensively, defensively, in practices? What's that kind of look like?
Good question. I told you we got off to a horrible start on offense against Blue Springs. It's because we only scored 3 points in the first 6 minutes of that scrimmage, so we were just atrocious. Part of the problem was the only thing that we thought we could do was shoot a three-point shot. And so we forgot about getting the ball inside, pounding it to our bigs. I think our bigs we took 2 shots inside the paint the first 6 minutes of the game. And not that our threes were bad shots. They were all uncontested and they were all makeable shots. But it wasn't the best shot that we could get on those possessions. So we've talked a lot about that, and our postmen have touched the ball a lot more this week because that's been emphasized. And so we're playing off our bigs, which will be a strength of our team. Our big guys can play, and we need to recognize that and get them the ball more. And then defensive transition hurt us a little bit. Some rotation work on defense, but really. After the end of the first quarter against Blue Springs, all we had to do. These are smart, intelligent players, know the game. They're good in the classroom and on the court. So, and I could have called a timeout first 2 minutes of the game and just said, "Hey, look, our next 3 shots need to be in the paint." But it was one of those learning processes I wanted to go through. So at the end of the first quarter, which was 6 minutes, I said, "Look, guys," I said, "we're taking 2 shots inside the paint. We have 1 3-pointer on the board right now. Okay, we're going inside," and they did. Okay, and so they can make those. They take coaching really well. They listen and they do their best to follow our instructions and directions. So we've been working on it in practice, but they made an adjustment once we told them what we needed to do, and that's what I'm proud of. Others, yes, Brady.
Do you have like a solid set starting 5 for the entire year? You play on
No, you know what? And we usually do. That's a great question. And I know you've been following our program for years. And once we kind of get some roles defined, we tend to stick with those. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case this year because, we only have AJ, who started half the season last year, coming back as a returning starter. And so we have a lot of fresh guys and new guys. And so I don't necessarily think we're going to be very rigid in a starting 5 the whole season like we have for years and years in the past. We kind of, once you get locked in your role and you've got it, and that's when you can start really thriving in that and know what to expect. And, but I don't know if it might happen this year, but my chances would be I bet we have a more fluid starting lineup this year than we have in the past. Yes.
What are some of your core values that you think are going to be helpful for you guys in these teams?
Well, I think you go back to all 3 of those ones that our guys picked out: is hard work, commitment, and teamwork. preparation, you have to prepare for any type of competition, Isaiah, and being a wrestler, you know that it's not just the 3-minute periods that you get on the match. It's the 3 hours a day that you're down practicing that wrestling and preparing for that match that make the difference when it comes to your 3 periods of competition. So the hard work is essential. Our guys are putting in that. They're committed. We got to be more competitive. We talked about that even this morning. We practiced at 6 a.m. this morning, and we talked about our competition level as it needs to be as a team has got to get a little bit better, and it did. For a 6 a.m. practice, we competed pretty well, and then teamwork. It's a team game. You got to lean on your brothers that are out there on the court, the guys on the bench, whatever the case might be. You got to lean on them. You got to trust them, and support them. And that's why. If we got a teammate that's down on the ground, you should see 4 other guys sprinting over to help him pick him up. That's just an example of teamwork. If you throw me a pass and I get an easy basket, I better point at you and say, hey, you deserve credit for that basket because you gave me a good pass. That's teamwork. And it's just pushing your buddy, pushing your brother. To run faster in sprints and whatever the case might be. So we got to rely on those. That's the backbone of this year's team, and that's who we are, and that's what we're going to roll with. So. I think we're out of time, unfortunately, but I appreciate the opportunity to come in and chat a little basketball with you. I hope you guys and everyone out there has a great Thanksgiving, and we'll be back next week. Take care.